just tell you that I'm just live streaming it. Shalom, everyone. It's Gidon and Pastor Al. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Shalom from Texas.
Texas. I miss it already. Yeah. So it's Hanukkah by me already. We just
Yes. Happy
lit
Hanukkah.
lit our first candle. You know, we light 8 nights. We light candles, and the first night we light 1 candle, the second night 2, etc., until 8 candles the last night.
Yes. But there's actually 9 candles on the Hanukkah menorah. One is the soldier candle or the lighter.
It's called the shamash, and that is the servant candle.
Okay.
But we use it to light because all the other candles, we are prohibited from getting any benefit out of them except to see them.
Okay.
You're not allowed to use the light of the candle to read or to check rice or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, and that's where we have the shamash. If there's no other light, you can pretend that you're getting the light from that candle.
Yes. Remembering the miracle.
Are you observing or commemorating or celebrating Hanukkah in any way?
If we're invited to something, we go.
That's good. But I think that Christians should celebrate Hanukkah, or at least they should commemorate it in some way.
Is it also called the Feast of Dedication?
It's not also called the Feast of Dedication. The word Hanukkah means dedication.
Okay.
So that's exactly what it's called.
I think you're correct. I mean, even Jesus, there's a verse in the Gospels that said he went to Jerusalem for the Feast of Dedication and the King James.
Exactly. So if Jesus didn't, don't you guys say, what would Jesus do? So
Yes.
Jesus would celebrate Hanukkah.
Yeah, is that just an
acronym? I mean,
oh, that's good.
You could almost count them on the fingers of a hand or two how many things we know that Jesus did.
Yes, yes.
And that was one of them. and most of the other things you can't really do. I mean, you're supposed to walk on water. He did that. Why don't you walk? I can't do it. But to celebrate Hanukkah, you can celebrate.
Yes, you can do that. Have no excuse. That's true. You got a good point.
I think that Hanukkah is a famous festival, a famous holiday in the West, because it has the luck of being around the same time as Christmas, and Christmas is possibly the most famous holiday in the West.
It fits into the gift giving custom.
Exactly. Of course, it's one of the less, certainly the most important holidays are the ones in the Bible, and the ones in the Torah. The
Right.
3 pilgrimage festivals: Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot. Is it right to translate Shavuot as Pentecost? When I say Shavuot, when I say Pentecost, does that mean what I think it means?
Shavuot, yeah, it actually just means 50 days, which was 50 days after the giving of the law, and somehow I've lost our picture. All right, here we go.
Are we going? Did you find me? Did you find you?
Yeah, Zoom seems to be wanting to make me a new offer.
Make you an offer you can't refuse. Well, please refuse it.
So I'm going to hit allow the meeting to launch.
But you're already meeting.
I know.
So weird.
Back to meeting. Here we go. There we go. All right. That's very
so
weird.
Wait a second. It's 50 days after the giving of the law, did you say?
it's 50 days after Passover,
That's right.
correct?
And it
And
is
that same day as the giving of the law,
it
correct?
is calculated and observed as the day that the law was given, the Torah was given on Mount Sinai.
Okay.
But it is not mentioned, that is not mentioned in the Bible itself, in the Torah itself.
Okay.
It's only because of a number of calculations that the sages calculated that we celebrate the giving of the Torah on Shavuot.
Okay.
But I think that Pentecost has Penta means 50 or 5 or 50, and cost means time is how much it's actually going to cost me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
I guess it means
No,
50 days.
It relates, yes.
But in Hebrew, we call it Shavuot because, first of all, that's what it is called in the Bible, the festival of weeks.
Yes.
Like a Shavuot. And it's 7 weeks. It specifically said there you should count 7 weeks.
Yes.
And it also says that you should count 50 days. So the question is, why did whoever translated the 50 days as opposed to the 7 weeks? I don't know. But is that when Christians say Pentecost, do they actually mean the holiday of Shavuot, the Feast of Weeks, as it's mentioned in the Bible, or do they mean like something else?
That's what they're supposed to mean. I do have a couple questions for you on that subject. I read somewhere that it's the anniversary of David's death. Is this true?
That's right, Shavuot. Today is Hanukkah, but here we are talking about Shavuot. What can I do?
Yes.
I do believe that Moses was born and died on the same day of the calendar. He died on his birthday. I don't remember if David died on his birthday, but I do vaguely remember that the day of his death was Shavuot.
Okay.
Another tradition that I remember is that Adam lived for 930 years.
Okay.
Now he was, according to this Midrash, he was supposed to live for 1,000 years, but he saw that David was going to be stillborn. So he said, no, I don't want that. I'm willing to give him 70 years of my life. So that's why he lived 930 and he lived 70.
Okay.
Okay. So those are two traditions that we hear about David.
Yes. Looking for Messiah. Okay. Well, a lot of Christians don't realize that it's the anniversary of David's passing. And therefore they don't really, the Christians do not understand Peter's sermon so much.
Neither do I. Which Peter's sermon are you talking about?
On the day of Pentecost.
That's
the day we say the church was born, and Peter preached the first church sermon, and it refers to David's tomb, and it was a big point because he was contrasting David with Jesus.
Contrasting or comparing?
Contrasting, yeah, both, yes, yeah. Not disrespecting David, but glorifying Jesus, yeah.
First of all, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
That the church began on Shavuot, on Pentecost.
Yes.
Because arguably, I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this. The Jewish people and its acceptance of the way, what it should believe and what it should do was arguably one of the dates that you could arguably claim that it began was on Shavuot, when we received the Torah. Until we received the Torah, we were recognized as a people. Pharaoh called us a people, I think. I may be wrong on that, but I think so. But God said, today you became a nation.
Yes.
So I don't know how much Christians identify themselves as a single nation. I think there's, is that right? Wrong? What do you say about that? Do Christians identify as a nation?
Those that know their Bibles, they would never say the church replaced Israel, but that we were grafted into the Commonwealth of Israel through Father Abraham. So yeah.
But I think that there's no question that many things in the New Testament refer back to the Old Testament.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reflect. They say, listen, this is what happened in the Old Testament, and here's what's happening now in the New Testament. Not to replace, maybe not necessarily to replace, but certainly to echo.
Yes.
Maybe that's a good word. So the creation of the Christian nation, again, I asked you, you didn't answer, is on the same day as the Jewish nation, as the Torah nation was created, or something like that.
Yes, yeah. So there's parallels there.
Yeah, interesting.
Some people go too far with it and come up with a replacement thing, but then you're doing away with your roots. Then what
exactly?
Are you? What'd you do? Crawl out from under a rock? You know,
I could see a cartoon of an avocado tree growing,
yes,
and then the leaves come out. Finally, it's strong enough. It grabs an axe and chops itself away from its roots.
Yeah, yes. So for the first century, the scriptures of what we call the New Testament were just being written. So they preached from the First Testament, the Hebrew scriptures. So,
of course.
Yeah.
And from the Second Testament also, the second century also. Is there any source that says, now that we finally have the gospel or the New Testament or the good word or whatever they said somewhere, we don't need that Old Testament anymore? I don't think so.
No.
I think that the Old Testament has a verse that mentions the term New Testament or New Covenant.
New Covenant, yes.
And so, like in many verses in the New Testament, they found that verse and they said, aha, let's focus on this. Let's shine a light on that.
Yes.
So they said, okay, New Testament, here it is, the New Covenant.
Yes.
Oh, so that means that there's an Old Covenant. So the Old Covenant is that. But what does old mean? Old and replaceable, or even old and disposable. Something's old.
The word old needs to be replaced.
That's definitely wrong. And in fact, I'm now thinking people often try to come up with different terms for the new names for the New Testament because of that discomforting, uncomfortable feeling with the term new and old.
Yeah.
But I think you could call it basically senior and junior, maybe.
There you go.
Because if I'm junior, unless I've really got a problem, I'm happy to have the senior. My father is senior, I'm junior. We go together. God forbid that the junior would want to get rid of the senior, that would feel that the seniors, the 18-year-olds, the 16-year-olds, they say, don't trust anybody over 30. But once you get a little bit grown up, a little bit mature, then you say, just the opposite. How important it is for me to have a parent. How important it is for me to connect to my roots.
Yeah. Well, speaking of our roots, can we look at what happened in Genesis 15? And you give me some Jewish insights there.
Keep me going because I have another meeting at half past.
Okay, so maybe there's
no. Let's see what we got here. 1 second. And let's try Sepharia. Hope that we can climb in here. Ah, Genesis, you said?
Yes, 15.
Meanwhile, I'll open up Bible Hub 2. Okay. Gen 15, what verse? Sir? Alan, I think you've gone frozen, or maybe it was me. No, that's not me because I've got everything. Let's see if I can ask him what's going on there. Let's put on some music while. No, he's gone. Maybe he'll be back. This is station 88 FM in Israel. It's for old fogies like me. The songs from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, all over the place. But nice stuff I like. Well, what should we do? Should we wait? I will mention what time we get back on, perhaps, so you can skip this if you'd like. This is the open song. Tov, we will meet you later. What can I do? I hope you like this song.